Your Ikran can feel difficult to master in combat, but if you follow this guide, it'll make it a lot easier for you, and you will learn things about your Ikran that you didn't know. It's not only a good idea to understand your flying friend, but it'll be very important as one of the upcoming DLCs, Secrets of the Spires, will require you to engage in epic aerial combat on your Banshee. So you should practice that aerial combat now, and that way you'll be off to a flying start. There is a lot of information to wrap our heads around when it comes to your Ikran, so let's get straight into it. Firstly, let's cover the Ikran's main abilities, starting with the Screech. Even though the ability description shows it's being used on aircraft, I find it most powerful against RDA ground targets. The ability has a really big effective radius of 75 meters, which is great for those low flybys circling over RDA bases. It not only staggers the RDA, but it'll actually kill the RDA Marines without them even being able to fight back as they're constantly stunned. It's a much easier and safer way to eliminate RDA ground patrols. The Screech barely affects AMP suits, but the Wing Gust ability from the Ikran will definitely deal with them a lot easier, and I'll show you that next. Generally, I find the Screech ability less effective on aircraft. It is less consistent when trying to stagger the aircraft, and you need to damage the aircraft first before you can use the Screech ability to get the takedown animation. But I'll show you two much easier ways to take down the aircraft and look like a true Na'vi whilst doing it. These two ways include using shock arrows for easy takedowns and the blind spots of the aircraft which allow ambushes. Shock arrows are by far the quickest and easiest way to eliminate RDA aircraft, especially shock arrows from a short bow. One shock arrow will be enough to stun the aircraft for an easy takedown. And if you are low on shock arrows, even the standard short bow arrows will tear through the RDA aircraft. They hit harder and shoot way longer than you might think. It's hands down the easiest weapon to use whilst mounted. Not many people are aware of the big blind spot at the rear of the RDA aircraft. Normally the aircraft can spot you from a long distance away, but if you fly directly behind them in their blind spot, they'll have no idea that you are there, and it allows you to pull off a great ambush. See here, I could get as close as I wanted and they had no idea. It allows you to get in close and unleash devastating volleys from your short bow or shotgun. It generally seems to surprise them and they are slow to react. You just need to be careful if the aircraft are in groups, because if the front aircraft turns, then the side gunner can spot you before you can safely get into position. It's best for the groups that are flying in large circles, as you can get on the back of the line like a conga train. Now for the Wing Gust Ikran ability to help defeat the RDA AMPs much easier. This is a great ability to stun a large group of enemies, particular AMPs, as it gives you enough time to take down some AMPs and get to cover before taking too much damage from the others. I counted about 7 seconds from landing before any of the AMPs started shooting back, which is a great advantage. You just need to make sure that you land in the middle of the group so they all get stunned. If you mistime your landing, you'll receive lots of damage whilst you try and dismount your Ikran. So for usual RDA patrols, I recommend low flybys with the Screech to eliminate the Marines, and then follow up with the Wing Gust landing to take out the AMPs. For your landing to be accurate, you need to slow down and fly flat with the ground. It won't give the landing option if you fly on a steep angle. Everyone knows we need to feed our hungry Ikran to keep its energy up and keep it happy. And it's common knowledge that our Ikrans have a favourite food that differs between all of our Ikran. When feeding your Ikran, you can quickly see what its favourite food is due to the emblem at the bottom right of the food. Feeding your Ikran its favourite food provides massive health bonuses as well as stamina bonuses. If you click on Combat Strength in the options, it'll show you your Ikran's bonus health. For me, my Ikran has an extra 776 health, which is massive and makes the mounted combat much easier. If you are low on food for your Ikran, you can still feed it by flying through flocks of birds for a small gain, or you can fly low over water so it can automatically catch fish. This can also be upgraded in the memories of the rider skill tree to give a much bigger energy gain, and I highly recommend getting these 3 skills to improve the fish caught. Now it's time to talk about all the ways to get the best Ikran skins and cosmetics for free, because who doesn't want to look their best in Pandora? There are 3 main ways to get the best Ikran cosmetics for free, and some of these are limited time items, so don't miss them. These include Ikran gear baskets that are scattered around Pandora, the special vendor at the home tree that is really important, and I'll cover that later, and particular missions that reward you with cosmetics. Firstly, let's talk about Ikran gear baskets. These special gear baskets are always located in high locations that are usually only accessible by your Ikran. You can find them by looking on the map for a glowing white marker like this. You don't know if it's an Ikran gear basket or another point of interest until you get closer. But if it's on top of a cliff, then you have a high chance of it being the gear basket you want. You can look up all of their locations online if you want. I have received countless harnesses, headpieces and tail streamers from this way. Now for the most important way, due to its exclusive items disappearing after time. The special vendor at the home tree is the only place I have found where you can get new Ikran skins without needing to spend real money. This vendor has a rotation of items for sale using in-game currency called Satari beads, which can be earned by completing challenges. I highly recommend you complete these challenges as the items she sells are straight from the in-game store, so we can get lots of great items that we normally would need to spend our hard-earned cash on. I can't confirm this yet, but I think if you happen to miss an item you wanted from the vendor, that'll eventually rotate back for sale again. I hope it does work this way. So far, the only Ikran skin I have seen for sale here is the Zeswa Warrior Ikran skin. If you've seen others though, please let me know. The challenges vary in difficulty and reward, but I think they are definitely worth doing. I tend to complete the challenges so I can have a good stash of beads ready for when I see a really nice Ikran cosmetic or skin that I want. Not all of the challenges are combat based. Some are very easy, like this week's fly 2,000 meters on Ikran through a wind tunnel. Or sometimes you just need to ride a dire horse at night. Even completing some main and side missions rewards us with the Ikran skins, but I haven't been able to find any concrete information on this online. I know I received 4 skins through standard missions, but unfortunately I wasn't keeping track which missions rewarded the skins. If you have more information on this, please let us know. This will probably be more important in the second DLC based on the air combat, but you can also equip clothing items that improve Ikran's stats. They can provide big bonuses like health, stamina and damage whilst mounted, but I haven't found a need for these items as I prefer the other bonuses from the clothing. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed learning about your Ikran. Please give me a like if you did, as it really helps me out. I'm hoping the DLC will bring more endgame content, maybe even Ikran races? Have you got any wishes for the endgame content or the upcoming DLCs? See you in Pandora.